Konnichiwa mina, boku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And coming at you from a different angle today, I suppose. Well, kind of, sort of. The camera's sitting on my entire collection of the recently-ish released Sailor Moon books, and also the original DVD set in the big blue box and stuff. That's where I had to do it, also on top of a laptop, in order to achieve this height that I needed. So this is definitely going to be a Sailor Moon related video. Got my shirt on to do so as well. And today we're finally going to tackle this, the weirdly titled, sort of, I guess, musical Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Amour Eternal. And the reason I call it weirdly titled is because it is a compilation album, or best of album of sorts, a la what would have been in the original Eternal Edition and Eternal Edition 2, and I don't have the physical CD of Eternal Edition 3, but these ones are very similar to what this one is. They have the songs performed, now recorded in studio, mind you, and then karaoke versions of them. As you can see on here, hopefully. I know it's kind of blurry, and I apologize for that, but there's those ones, and these ones as well. Now, these ones, like I said, are called the Eternal Editions, and again, it's just a compilation of a bunch of songs, kind of like this one here. When I first heard that there was going to be an album for the musicals sets done from 2013 to 2017, I was flabbergasted, because for years I've been like, well, why aren't they doing a release like they have been for the original run of the musicals? It didn't make sense to me, but then I'm like, well, maybe because, you know, studio time costs money. They weren't sure how the musicals were going to be received. I mean, you can even tell that by the amount of less runs that they're doing this time as compared to the original runs back in the day. I mean, they would do a musical and then do a redo of the musical. So like, what's the word for it? The Kaitaban, or the revised edition. So you'd have like one in spring, one in fall. Usually there'd be like winter, whatever. And now it's just one a year. And also, of course, they have the all-female cast. So this CD, while similar to the Eternal Editions, actually only has 8 tracks on it. And that includes Speed of Light, Shiratsuki Gonnen Musume, so line up 5 women of the White Moon, When Destiny Calls, Koi Suru Satellite, Music of the Spheres, I No Starshine, Sanjou Tuxedo Kamen, and Eye of the Storm. So those are the vocal tracks as well as instrumentals for them. Now the caveat of this is that these are the live versions of them. They're not studio quality of the, at least of the performed ones. The instrumentals are instrumentals, so they're a studio quality. But the first 8, which have vocals and stuff, you know what I mean? Like Eye of the Storm, for example, we'll listen to that one. The live version. So you can see it's got that little bit in there. Sorry, got a hair in my mouth. And it is the actual performed version. So it's got all the breathiness and all that kind of stuff in it too. We'll go into it. And the sound quality isn't the best. Again, not being a studio quality doesn't. But at the same time, it's not that bad. So then you take the instrumental version, which has that same opening instrumental part, but without the spoken part of Urana Snapchin and fighting. But it's exactly the same length, essentially. So, and then like Shiratsuki Gonnen Musume. So This one you've got Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and then Venus. But the downside of it is Venus gets cut off. So that's where it ends. And I think it's because it's the Amour Eternal version. So, with the instrumental version, you're going to get exactly the same thing. So, Venus's part would be right here. And, well, and it's in here. You can tell. I don't remember the words to it, but anyways. And then she gets cut off, and they're doing the talking. And you can hear the music going down a little bit. Now the other funny thing I find about this particular instrumental, okay, listen to the beginning and tell me if you can hear something strange. So at the beginning, this is where Sailor Moon's doing her, that sort of thing, or at least introduction, they're all talking back and forth, they're getting ready for the battle. But the music, you can tell when it's about to start for the part that you're supposed to sing in, which is actually kind of neat, but still throws me off a little bit. You heard the volume change on there, so it's strange. A little jarring at first, but still interesting. I'm not going to complain too much because having instrumental versions of these things is very, very important, I think. Music of the Spheres is one of my personal favorite songs, battle songs and so on. But it's the first chorus version. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds, so the instrumental reflects that as well. Several of them are only the first chorus version. Koisuru Satellite seems to be the longest song on the album, and I think it's a full version of it. But I think the reason they went with calling it Amour Eternal is because it's based on the cast of this one moving forward, because of course the previous cast ended with the S musical, and now the Super S one moving forward to Stars has been basically the same aside from Saturn. So it seems weird to me though, but of course here's the back of it as well. Inside they have some really, really neat pictures. I'll go over those now. The CD itself is silver with white feathers. I'm sorry about the white, or the light reflecting. And behind the CD is this really nice picture of the moon bow. Alright. So you open up the book, there's lyrics, of course, written in Japanese, and white text on black with pictures from the performances. And so on. I think it's my computer screen that's reflecting it. But really, really nice battle pictures. And it looks like they're mostly from, I don't know if it's from Amour Eternal, because honestly, I haven't seen it yet. I know that sounds so bad. Eye of the Storm, might have come from Un Nouveau Voyage. I'm not 100% sure. But there might even be pictures in here from the Le Mouvement Final musical as well. Not sure. But anyways, now in comparison with the CDs itself, I would have expected the Amour Eternal one to be more akin, and I apologize for the CD cases. I have CD cases that break a lot. To these ones, which were the actual CD releases of the musicals themselves. So this one here, of course, was the Sailor Moon S 10th anniversary musical back in 2002, 2003, Mugen Gakuen. So you've got that, and then you've got the song list on the back with the actor and actresses playing Tuxedo Kamen and Sailor Moon and Sailor Senshi. And of course the Sailor Stars musical. So this is all Kuroki Marina ones that I have. But I mean, like, again, these are the actual full albums of the musicals. This is Shin Densetsu, Shin Kaguya Shima Densetsu, I'm sorry. So the island one, the very last one that we ever had of the original musicals, especially starring Kuroki Marina. And the Marina Moon Special Edition a lot of the songs collected from her run. Now this one would have been neat to have instrumentals on too, but then, I mean, there's already 23 songs on here. One of them is an instrumental or an orgel version, or I think it is. Bonus track. Oh no, wait, sorry, I'm wrong about that. It's just a bonus track. Yakusoku no Uta, so Song of Promise, that Marina sings at the end of the musicals and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Anyway, overall, I do like this CD. I mean, the fact that we get anything like this is amazing. These were only sold, to my understanding, at Le Mouvement Finale's musical, so you can't really find it in stores, or it's incredibly hard to even find any information of it online, but I'm sure it's now starting to come out there. I was very fortunate because my friend Irulan and her family went and saw the musical in Tokyo, and she was able to pick not only this up for me, but also a book of a photo book from the musical as well, which has beautiful pictures of it in it, including what I assume is going to be the DVD cover for Le Mouvement Finale. Absolutely amazing. It's got some really close-up pictures of the actresses. There's Galaxia. And it's actually perfect because I'm planning on doing a gender-bent version of Sailor Galaxia, so this will really help to look at the detail and stuff of the costumes. But it's just amazing. Like, look at the outers here. Like, absolutely stunning artwork, and I'm very, very excited about this. So, what does this leave us now? With the musicals themselves, oh yeah, I actually have two others I was going to show you too, the best ofs here. Now, Anzo's actually been my favorite Sailor Moon. She was the very first one from 1993 to 1993 to 1998. And then, of course, they had the second of the best tracks. So these are like the background music tracks, which would be really neat to have a release for those, for the new musicals and so on. And, of course, the Love Ballad edition as well. So it'd be neat to get some new collections of these for the newer musicals. But what I would really like to see one day, especially if this is the last musical that we're going to have, at least for a while. I don't know, like, they keep saying it's the final one, but we also haven't had any confirmation that Yuga Yamato is retiring, or that this current cast is graduating, or anything like that. At least not that I've seen yet. So, could that be a hint? Could that be a clue? Who knows what's going on? We might get some new story arcs. I'd love to see a musical based on Sailor Moon Another Story, so the video game that came out. I'd love to see some kind of musical adaptations of the RS and Super S movies, or even completely new content, maybe a Sailor V one, or how it ties in. I don't know. There's so much stuff they could possibly do. We saw that they were able to come up with new storylines from the live-action series. Of course, that one kind of veered in all weird sorts of directions. Spoiler alert, Sailor Venus dies of a heart problem or brain tumor or something. And I don't know. I would love to see it continue. They did it with the last Dracula series. They did it with Kaguya Shima Densetsu. They did it where they did the Queen Beryl meets Sailor Galaxia. That would be amazing to see an adaptation with the new musicals of that too. So, I don't know. I've always been a long-time Sailor Moon musical fan. I have most of the musicals, actually, on DVD and the like. Videotape, actually. So this is my thing up here. I got the 2 box sets here when I was in Japan in April of 2016, and it's the entirety of Anza's run. So you've got the first bunch here, and then the second bunch here, and then in the middle I've got the newer musicals, and then they are surrounded by the previous ones. So yeah, these were amazing. As a collector, they're very expensive, as I'm sure many of you that also collect them would note. For me, the VHS in Canada here, when I ordered them, came to about $70, $65 to $70 each. And then you've got your import taxes and all that kind of stuff as well. But it's absolutely worth having them, and I absolutely love every single one of them. So, all right. So, overall, like I said, this album is very interesting. I'm glad we have it. I don't want to complain too much about it. I guess my one wish would be that they would have included We Are the Pretty Guardians, and maybe a few others that were kind of note. I think having When Destiny Calls on here is a little weird. That's the Tuxedo Kamen Sailor Moon duet one. That sounds just strange to me, like especially that weird high low note that they do between them. I've never liked that song. It's just a bizarre one to me. But having Eye of the Storm on here is definitely needed because Sailor Venus and Neptune are hugely popular, and their chemistry is wonderful, and that song itself is amazing, and I remember tearing up and getting goosebumps when I first heard it. So okay, yes, so that is my review of the album. I think you should get it if you can find it. It's probably going to be expensive, but let's just hope that we get some other releases in the future as well, and if you were lucky enough to see the musicals live, that is fantastic. There is also a rumor that they might be coming to the United States, possibly Canada, North America, doing a world tour, who knows. That would be amazing to see that as well. So this is it for me. I will see you guys later. Let me know in the comments below what you've thought of it if you've got a chance to hear the songs. And we'll talk again soon. Jamatani Mina. Bye-bye.